Hi, this is Annika, and I'm talking to you from my home office in Temple, New Hampshire. I work with people all over the world through Zoom, which is where I'm recording this talk. And this talk today is about confident decision-making and relationships. I want to talk about confident decision-making a number of times on these video recordings because I feel that they are so essential to having a good life. We have to make decisions all the time, and the decisions you make have tremendous impact on your life. And in 25 years of teaching the principles to people, I find that confident decision-making is one of the most important things that people are interested in learning and has some of the greatest impact on your ability to feel empowered and to know that you're on your path and to feel confident in the way you're going forward with your life. And one of the many gifts of the three principles that were discovered by Sydney Banks is that as people become more and more aware of when you're in your mental health and well-being and when you're in alignment with how your mind actually works, you also become more aware of when you're accessing a level of thinking that leads to confident decision-making. There's a feeling to that level of thinking. Feelings of mental health and well-being, or what we call being inside out, are feelings of confidence, strength, mental clarity, calm, and again, nature has gifted us with this GPS system so that you also have feelings that give you alerts when you're out of alignment with how your mind actually works. These would be feelings like insecurity and stress and anxiety and busy-mindedness. And that state of mind, which we call being outside in, is the state of mind that you want to back away from when you're making decisions. Because when your mind is flooded with too much thinking, it obscures your capacity for clarity and for the gift of insight. And it's through common sense, mental clarity, and insight that good decisions get made. So I wanted to speak briefly today about a client of mine, a young man, who came to me because he was struggling with a decision he was trying to make about his relationship with his girlfriend, who he'd been with for a number of years. And she was pushing for commitment at a level that he wasn't feeling ready for. But he was very conflicted because he loves this woman. And so he was doing what so many of us do when we're faced with a decision in a relationship that is difficult for us. He was trying to talk himself into being ready for this level of commitment because he didn't want to let the relationship go. So as I taught him what I teach everyone, which is how to recognize when you're out of alignment with how your mind actually works. Another way to say that, when you're in the illusion that you're feeling something that's not your thinking. And how to recognize when you're in alignment with how your mind actually works, which is that you're feeling your thinking in every moment. As this young man learned this understanding and watched how it played out in his life day by day, after 4 or 5 weeks of working together, he came to one of our Zoom sessions, and he had made his decision, and he had made his decision to tell his girlfriend that he actually wasn't ready. And he said something which really touched me. He said, you know, when I'm inside out, Annika, I'm pointing to the wrong side of the chart, when I'm inside out, it's as if I'm protected. It's like I'm in a bubble. None of that outside in thinking, none of that thinking that makes me afraid and insecure and unsure of myself can touch me. I'm protected when I'm inside out. And because I've been experiencing that more and more, I was able to get to my clarity, which is that I'm not ready. And he seemed very sad. And he went and he had his talk with his girlfriend. And I was a bit surprised when he came to the next session to see how, basically, how well he was doing. He felt very calm and very relieved that he'd finally been able to know what his truth was and stand by it and be able to share it with this young woman so that she was free to move on, since she wanted to do that if there wasn't that level of commitment. So it was another example of how the truth, there's in a saying, the truth sets you free. It certainly set him free. And he was so grateful to have this capacity to have confidence in his decision making. And he looked me in the eye and said, "Thank you," from a very deep place inside of himself, because he knew that he now had an ability to move forward in his life and make big decisions with confidence. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found it helpful.